Yo, listen up, got a tale to tell about a young shepherd boy and a giant who fell. David was his name, not a warrior in sight, but he had heart, soul, and a fight that was tight. In the valley of Allah, tension was high. Goliath stood tall, his shadow covered the sky. Who'll face me? He roared with a laugh so cruel, but the army.
I don't care what MTV allows. My audience gets the song of the summer if they want it. This is Coachella, God damn it, and it is time to dance. Jimmy!
Yo, listen up, got a tale to tell about a young shepherd boy and a giant who fell. David was his name, not a warrior in sight, but he had heart, soul, and a fight that was tight. In the valley of Allah, tension was high. Goliath stood tall, his shadow covered the sky. Who faced me? He roared with a laugh so cruel, but the armies trembled. No one dared to do it. Then up stepped David, nothing but a sling. Face my sword, he said, God's my king. The giant laughed and mocked the dog. Is this your best? But David stood firm, this was his intent. Giants fall when you stand tall. With a sling and a stone, you can break any wall. No mountain too high, no valley too deep. With faith in your heart that leap, you can lay the breach from his bag. Not a sword, shield, or spear. Just 5 smooth stones and his mission is clear. In the name of the Lord, he said with a swing, the stone like lightning, a humble king swing.
I don't care what MTV allows.
Welcome to It's Happening, the Unseen Realm channel. My name is Jared, and guys, I apologize. This was not supposed to happen until 30 minutes from now, but when I was setting it up, something happened, and it went ahead and went on. So I wanted to show you you guys some of our advertisements for the music we are creating. And if you are interested in learning how to make music and monetize it, we teach you guys how to do that. If you guys are needing a website designed, we also do that. We do logos. We do all kind of animations. Played the cartoon at the beginning too. We are learning how to do more video editing for companies to make videos for them, to advertise for them. So if you are looking to hire someone to do things like that for you, for your social media marketing, or maybe you want to learn, just go to vandysdesigns.com into the contact page, and you can fill out a form, or you can comment and message me here, and we can talk about it, guys. So I am going to bring on Hector, and we are going to discuss the Nephilim today. And again, guys, I've been so busy this week. I have so many different projects going. And I am starting this week to really start to structure things more and get more organized, so you guys know ahead of time when we're going to be going on. And so I don't have to throw these things together at the last minute, because I'm still working. I'm designing websites. I'm teaching people AI. I'm teaching people how to make music. I'm teaching people how to write books and monetize all of these things. So guys, I'm extremely busy. So I'm hoping I will be able to hire a crew here before too long to help me with this too. So thank you guys for all the support you have been giving us. If you would kindly smash that like button, it will help us get seen more. If you are not following our channel yet, if you would follow our channel here on Rumble, it helps us. We also have a Patreon, and we are on all social medias. So I'm going to bring on Hector now, and he can introduce himself, and we will get into it.
How's it going? I'm Hector. Demise Gone on all socials and YouTube and Twitch.
Yeah, guys, I forgot about that. I keep forgetting to put his YouTube channel in here. Guys, go follow his YouTube channel. I will put the link in the comments now. I've got to copy your thing and save it. I keep telling myself I'm going to do that. He's got a gamer channel. You should definitely go follow him. And he's got a book you guys should buy. Well, I'll put the link to that in the comments below. I'm sorry, Hector. I keep forgetting.
Oh no, you're fine, because the stuff messed up anyway and started the show a half hour early.
I know. I said it, even named it wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because we didn't even have time to change the name. It's still Uncanny Valley, and that was last week.
The time I did change it. I don't know how it did that. I must have hit revert or something, and I didn't notice it, and I just went on. And then I noticed when I was setting up, it went on. I was like, oh man, now I've got to do something. So that's why I just
I
started
think
playing
like
the video.
it started before we were able to save the changes. But
That's all right. So I've got a video we're going to pull up on YouTube and let this guy talk. We have the live chat up. So if you guys are interested in talking with us, please do. We encourage you to chat with us. All right. So let's just get into it. Sorry, guys. I'm kind of thrown off on. I messed it up. It's my fault. I'll go ahead and pull this video up and let's get into it. So what do you got? If you're watching right now, what do you think? Do you believe in the Nephilim? Do you believe in the fallen angels? Do you believe that maybe Bigfoot is part of that? Do you believe that the Greys are part of that? I'm just curious on your stance on all of this. And remember, guys, we're not trying to convince you of anything. We're trying to open your mind and hopefully get you asking questions about the things that we have been taught all of our life. All right, so let's get into it. This is 10 facts about Nephilim giants and angel human hybrids. Book of Enoch explained by Dr. Taylor Marshall on YouTube. You should absolutely go subscribe to his channel.
The Book of Enoch is perhaps the most controversial book that didn't make it into the Christian Bible, and it contains all kinds of unusual facts. For example, did you know that the Book of Enoch taught that the fallen angels taught women how to use eyeliner and eyeshadow, or that it reveals the name of the 7 archangels and the 20 princes of the fallen angels, the demons, or that these fallen angels had sexual intercourse with human women and had gigantic babies called Nephilim, or that in the underworld down in hell, there are 4 hollowed out places for 4 different kinds of people who have died. That's right. Today, we're going to go through 10 of these shocking, weird, fantastic facts that are in the Book of Enoch. And stay to the end, because I'll reveal to you what the Book of Enoch says about the enormous height of these demonic babies sired by angels and born of women. They make LeBron James look really tiny. Fact number 1, the Book of Enoch presents 200 and exactly 200 angels called watcher angels, or in Greek, egregoroi. And they are appointed by God to watch over, guide, and tutor humans. However, these 200 watcher angels take wives. They lust after women. They take human wives, and they cause these women to conceive half-breed, gigantic children called the Nephilim. Interesting fact number 2, the leader of these 200 watcher angels that have sexual relations with women, his name is Shem Yaza, or Sam Yaza, or in Greek, Semi-Aza, or sometimes you see Semi-Jaza. It's the name in Hebrew that can either mean gazer at the heaven, gazer from heaven, or gazer of the name, as in the name of God. And what's interesting about this is he's not Satan. He's a different demon who leads the guardian angels into having sexual intercourse with human women. And what's even more interesting is this leader, Shem Yaza, is worried that the other 199 angels aren't going to go through with the deed. They're afraid to sin against God. And so he leads them to make vows, oaths, to commit this sin. Here's what the Book of Enoch says, quote, "I fear you will not indeed agree to do this deed, and I alone shall have to pay the penalty of a great sin." And they all answered him and said, "Let us all swear an oath and bind ourselves by mutual imprecations not to abandon this plan, but to do this thing." And so they all swear on Mount Hermon, we are going to go and seduce women and have babies with them. Fact number 3. So the 200 watcher angels go down, they seduce human women, and they have babies with them. And this all happens during the time of the patriarch in the Bible named Jared. Jared is the actual father of Enoch, who allegedly wrote this book. And you can learn about Jared in Genesis 5:18. He lived to be 162 years. And at this time, quote, this is
I hope I live that long too. That'd be nice, right? Maybe I'll be in good health and can live that long.
He wasn't even the only one though. There's in the Bible. There's a bunch of people. There was a king that lived like past 900 years old.
Yeah. A few 300, 500, 600,
Yeah.
something.
Abraham was over 100, I think, and he was still having kids too, right? Was it?
That's when he started having kids, late in life, I believe.
Yeah.
And I believe his wife was 100 and something.
And she was supposed to be barren.
Yeah. I believe that's right. Yeah. So, guys, so far, do y'all believe in that? Do you think this is some fairy tale nonsense? I mean, I will give you my belief on. I absolutely 100% believe in this. Not only do I believe in this, I still believe that the fallen angels are here on Earth with us and still manipulating us. They are still using the powers that be, the rulers of this world. What does it say? The rulers of this dark world. We fight against the principalities and the rulers of this dark world and the rulers of the kingdoms of this world. I know some of the Bibles have taken that part out, but I do truly believe that they are still here and still manipulating us with our politicians, our Hollywood, our elites, our anybody who has mass influence over the population. I truly believe that they are somehow using them to manipulate us. Do you think I'm crazy, or do you believe that? What do you think, Hector?
I mean, we've definitely like just thinking like the Illuminati and like how in depth like mainstream media is and stuff like music and all that other stuff. I mean, like even thinking now, like the stuff with P. Diddy, like what he was doing was like I was about to slip up. I was gonna say I would understand if you're using your foothold to seduce women, because we've seen that with Harvey Weinstein and all the Me Too movement. But P. Diddy was using his thing like for dudes, and it's like
little boys.
That's like an extra level of sin right there. And it's like, yeah, you wanna be rich and famous, you want everybody to know your music, come to my bedroom. And it's just like, okay, bro.
Yeah, that's wild to me. And we've been hearing these stories for a very long time, and there are still people that call us conspiracy theorists for talking about it, even with all the proof out there. I mean, everybody knows the Epstein list is there.
Oh yeah,
and nothing's happened to nobody. So you know that there are some very, very powerful people behind all of that.
And my thing is, like, years ago, I had said if the list ever got like put out there and names started getting dropped, even then, nothing's gonna happen to the people. And like we got some really like high names up there. Like I'm talking about former presidents. Like now, some of them I understand why not. Like Michael Jackson, he's dead. Stephen Hawking, he's dead. It's not like they can go and do anything. But like other people whose names were on the list, like still just walking around, nothing happened.
Yep.
It's like,
and nothing ever will. And I mean, if they do release the list, they'll do it on purpose to start a war. It'll be to bring it down, or they'll start the war to keep from the list coming out. I have a lot of theories on that. I mean, I don't know, but I do truly believe that it's the fallen angel. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. When I talk about the Nephilim and the giants and all of those and the evil spirits that are still here, the fallen angels is not that. The fallen angels are still here. If you me and my thoughts and from what the Bible has told us, they're here. They're still here. They're hiding inside the earth. They are trying to still rule things. They do. They're anti-Christ. They do everything the opposite of what Christ would want you to do. And they try to convince you that Christ isn't real or God isn't real. I do believe that because it's all over the place, and especially today. The Bible even says it'll be like the days of Noah. And I mean, you look around today, and we think in our minds angels and fallen angels, what they might really look like, but we forget. I think it was Paul that said you need to be careful when you're talking to other people because you never know if it's an angel you're speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that some people took that as more of a metaphor. He was being real. Like, you never know if that's an angel that's standing there talking to you. So to me, that they can appear to us in any way they want. They can appear to us as a gray alien. They can appear to us as Bigfoot. They can appear to us as a human being. I don't know. That's just my belief. I know I'm probably I dig a little deeper into it and get a little crazy.
My thing is too, like, we also, the descriptions that we have for angels in the Bible is like, some of them are just like, I guess outlandish is the wrong word, but like, I guess bizarre would be better. Like, one that is just like a mass of eyeballs with wings, and it's like,
Yeah, kind of like this. I don't know if you can see it or not.
yeah, like the descriptions we have for angels, like, if they can appear looking just like us, they can appear anyway. Like, we just had, like, I know there's one, I think it's the seraphim, that it has like the head of a lion or the face of a bull, like just an amalgam of animals.
Right.
And it's like,
Well, Lucifer was a seraphim too. And remember in the Bible also, every time it speaks of a human coming into contact with an angel, the first thing that the angel says to him
be not
is,
afraid.
do not fear, do not be afraid. I mean, if they looked just like us, why would they say that? And then the way Enoch describes them, like the tattoo, that is why that tattoo's there. It's part of a longer story. Anyways, but yes, angels are not what we perceive them to be. And even some say that they are stars. They are, Ezekiel's wills describes them as almost like a throne that can move any direction and has wheels with a bunch of eyes on it. So it's definitely interesting because our minds go to a cute angel with wings, not some big ball of fire with an eye in the middle of it that is trying to speak to you. You know, we never think of it that way.
See, and that's where like the whole thing with the Nephilim comes into play too, because it's like, if we know that they have all these different forms, and they were coming down to mate with humans, like, I'm Hispanic, but I got light skin. My wife, she's black, so our son is tan. So you got a human, and then this amalgam of whatever it is, like, it may be able to change to look human, but it's still for what it is. When they come together, there's going to be some kind of mix up that the Nephilim weren't just normal looking people,
right? Just
because of the mix of what was in them.
Yeah. Oh, there's no doubt about it. I'm a true believer now. I used to not be. The closer I've gotten in my relationship with God, the more and more I not only believe it, but I feel it, and I feel like you can see it when you're watching movies, when you're watching TV shows, when you're watching the news. It's almost this evil. I don't know how to describe it, but it's they parrot each other, and you can see it, and it gives me a strange feeling when I am watching these people talk. It's almost like there's something inside me telling me that is one of them. For instance, I'm Fauci, for instance. When that man comes on and speaks, he makes me extremely uncomfortable. And that's not just because I know what he's doing. I mean, let's look back to what he did with AIDS in the 80s, and they still allowed this man to run the freaking, I'm not going to say it on here because we don't want to get taken down. He created that in the 80s. Then he turns around and messes with a new illness, creates that, and then acts like he's got the solution for that too. And the way he speaks, There's something about that man. I don't know what it is. I don't know him personally, but every time I watch that man speak, something inside me makes me feel like he is one of those fallen angels, or he is being manipulated by one. I might be crazy, but do you ever feel that way when you see some of these people speak on TV or movies? Because I see it all the time, and especially in TV and movies now.
So this is gonna sound insane, but I've had that feeling when I watched a video, I want to say months ago, and it was two people on the screen at the same time. And actually, it's tied to a topic that we've talked about before.
Yeah.
And you know who it was?
The hotel?
Uh-uh.
Uh-uh.
It
Go ahead.
was
Who is it?
The Rock and Oprah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
When
absolutely.
the Maui fire
Yeah.
happened, and they had released that video, like,
Of them
if you
standing
guys
next
want
to
to
each other.
donate for the people who lost their homes, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, y'all got millions, y'all's properties didn't get touched. Why don't y'all this is y'all's
Exactly.
hometown, y'all got houses there, right? But throughout that whole video, I'm just sitting there looking, I'm like, hey, something ain't right with how they talk. Like,
Right. Yeah, I mean,
it's
why
not
would they
good.
need to be asking? They should be saying, I'm putting up this money, I'm putting up this amount of money, and I am challenging other famous people to do the same, because these poor people obviously can't do it. But no, they're asking for the poor people to send them the money. And then to this day, do we even know what she did with that money? I mean, I can't ever find anything on the truth on it. There's so many different people that are saying that the cops have busted her on it, that they are actually investigating her on it, that they have found the money and taken the money. I don't know what the truth is around that. There's so much propaganda. I don't know. Do you know? Do you know if anything's ever happened with that?
I never heard anything outside of that video for it. I haven't heard anything about people's homes getting restored or where the donation money went. None of that. But
Right.
I just know, like, I had like a severe uneasy, like the words they were saying wasn't their words. Like, and that was the first time I ever got that feeling from The Rock and Oprah, which I never really watched too much of Oprah or whatever, didn't really know much about her, but I used to watch The Rock a lot, wrestling and all his movies.
Yeah, I
loved
him growing up. Yeah, I loved him growing up.
In that video, I was like, that there was something off right there with The Rock. That didn't make no sense.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. And as being a person who has grown up most of his life, I don't want to say the poorest of the poorest of the poor, but a struggling family, I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
I have a line I won't cross. I'm sorry. There's just things, I don't care how much money you offer me. Some of these things that these famous people are promoting and then fighting back against because of money, just because they're getting paid to do it. Like when they come out and fight, almost like they're fighting to keep human trafficking going, not to stop it. It's like they want it to keep going, and it's like, dude. And then the Border Patrol that help with this. I mean, what line is there that money's just not worth it, especially when it comes to children, especially when it comes to somebody else's life. I don't care how much money they offer me. If I was The Rock or if I was Oprah at that moment and I known what just happened, the CIA would have had to kill me, because I would have been on camera screaming what's going on, that people need to wake up. I would have been. I could not hold. I guess that's why I'll never be a famous person.
Well, you know, it's funny that you mentioned human trafficking, because you know what's the biggest source of human trafficking? Like, I guess opportunities where like women have the highest opportunity to get snatched up, like out in public.
Yeah. Well, oh yeah, when there's war, when there's danger, when there's wildfires, when there's hurricanes.
Not just that. There's a specific event that happens year round, especially
Super Bowl.
Yup.
Yeah.
And it's funny how like there's a certain celebrity who's now been tied to football.
Yes.
And her not appearance. What's that called? Just her presence has spiked women to go to football games.
Right.
And it's just like,
It's definitely a weird theory. I haven't even thought about that until you just brought it up. But yeah, could be. You never know, because you're right. I mean, it is the Super Bowl is when most trafficking happens. Actually, my wife and a few of her friends, that's what they do. They have a couple movements where they're starting, and they're fixing to start a podcast for survivors and things like that. So I will let you guys know when my wife and her friend do that, because y'all won't want to miss that. We've kind of gone way off topic, but that's okay. That's what this show is really for, guys. Is to just start questioning things. Yes, we want to come on here and speak about certain topics, but sometimes we may go way off. But that's why we designed the show this way, so we can. And we hope that you guys will talk with us. What do you guys think? Do you think we're crazy conspiracy theorists? Do you believe any of this stuff? What about what he just said about that person in the Super Bowl? Because I do find that very intriguing now, and I'm going to have to look into that more, because it's weird that not only did that person start dating the person at the beginning of the season, and how it all just happened to work out in the end for the Super Bowl. No, that's a weird conspiracy. I mean, that's definitely something interesting to look into. I mean, because they started dating at the beginning of the football season, and then somehow
he made
it works out perfectly. Yeah,
and
you're right, and won. So who knows? And guys, no, we're not saying that she is or she isn't. It's just a theory. Just a thought.
Yeah. Now, even when you think of like coincidences too, now this is just a theory of mine, but I think later on in the year, COVID's gonna spike up again, because 2020 we had the Chiefs and the 49ers in the Super Bowl. It was an election year, and then COVID was on the rise. 2024, Chiefs and the 49ers in the Super Bowl. Election year, COVID's on the rise again.
I think it's going to be something other than COVID this time. I think you're right, though. I think COVID will, but they are going to be a new, more powerful strain that they're going to call something.
Mm-hmm. Like the Omicron variant and all the other stuff. And then there's also going to be something to distract us from the election. Because I remember a couple years ago, it was the crazy clowns, people dressing up as clowns and attacking random people all over the country. Then it was COVID, and I don't know.
They've set the stage for many different ways for them to do it. They've set the stage on the Texas border. They've set the stage with what's going on with Biden, with what's going on with Trump. I mean, there's many different. If you step back, if you're like me and you like to play chess and you like to step back and you like to think ahead and you like to look at the different various options available to you, you can see that these people are very good at what they do. The CIA, the NSA, Homeland Security, our government isn't running anything. Those politicians are all puppets that are just sitting there saying what you want them to say. The real power in this country are the three-letter agencies that are running it. And they are very, very good at what they do. It's wild. They've set the stage for so many different possibilities to happen. When one of them happen, it's probably going to be one that we have talked about, but we all know that they're going to blame it on us, Americans, somehow, some way. Or I still truly believe it's going to be a directed energy weapon, and they're going to make it look like a UFO attack. Because that's what they've also been building up to that over the last couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I mean. There's so many, this year alone, there's so many different theories of how they could do it. They've set the stage all year. I mean, with what happened in Miami with the aliens, what happened with all the fires everywhere. There's your directed energy weapons, our border, and people rushing across. I mean, there's so many different ways that they could cause an incident to not focus on the election or to take wartime powers, and then the election is just really not. I don't know. It's definitely going to be interesting this year for sure.
It's very reminiscent of how can I say it? 2001.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, actually worse, but for me anyway, a worse feeling because back then I was just turning 21. When that happened, yeah, I was just turning 21, 20, 20, 20. I can't even count anymore. I was just turning 20 years old, so I didn't pay attention to stuff like this. I was young and stupid, and I was not really. So for me today, and I'm paying attention to what's going on, I see it all over the place. And now looking back at what happened then, I can see it.
Oh yeah. See me, I was a little kid when I was in Manhattan when they dropped.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
because remember I'm from New York,
yeah.
so I was there when they went down, and I didn't think nothing of it. Just buildings fell, and then
I've got to ask you this since we've gone this direction. Do you believe that it was a hologram? The second plane. Have you heard that? Yeah.
Nah.
You got to look into it.
I definitely have to check that one out.
It's interesting. That's all I'll say. It's definitely interesting. And when you hear the people who were right there, I mean, when it happened, the news, if people were filming, there was actually people out there talking to people, and there's footage out there that you can find where every one of these people are saying it was not a plane. There were bombs going off. Boom, 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 boom. That there was not a plane. It was, and then the Tower 7. Is that what they called it? I can't remember. It was a couple streets over. There was nothing even close to it. And the same thing. Minutes later, boom, 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 boom. And it leveled that freaking building as well. There's a lot of theories around it. And it's kind of like the Project Bluebeam. Some have said that is part of it, that the plane itself was a hologram. I don't know if that's true or not. But if you look at how the building fell, that was a controlled demolition. Yeah. I don't care how they spin it. That was a controlled demolition. If an airplane had hit that building the way it did, it would not have did what it did. Because that's what they said. If the airplane hit it, minutes after, there was a boom, 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 like you would hear when you're blowing a building up in a controlled demolition.
Mm-hmm. And it collapsed on itself, too.
Yeah. And what makes me believe that is the Building 7, the building that nobody talks about. So you had the Twin Towers, and I think they call it Building 7. I can't remember. Anybody watching, let me know. I may be wrong on what they called the building. But there was another building like 2 or 3 blocks away, completely leveled. Nothing. It shouldn't have been at all. There was nothing that hit it. But it's completely level. Gone. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. Let's see if I can find something on that. Now that I'm there. Building. Hold on one second. You can talk, Hector, if you have anything you want to say on any of this for a second while I'm searching.
Let me see. Because I'm trying to think. I know. Like even since the incident, I've visited New York before, like gone back, and I've been to the museum that they built.
Right.
And I know like one of the most popular sayings, like it even turned into a meme or whatever. Jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams.
Right.
Like jet fuel doesn't burn hot enough for it, but I know in the museum they have a bunch of like building debris or whatever, but I don't think I've ever seen like any like plane remnants in. You think you would have like something showing?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and that's why I'm believing more. And I know that our hologram technology has been so much better than what they've allowed us to believe for a very long time. But look, I found something on it. Check this out.
My neighbors came banging on my door telling me to get out. I guess they was evacuating the building, and I couldn't get out. My door was jammed. Everything off my windowsill fell, and I guess the impact of the explosion jammed the door as well.
How loud was it?
It was extremely loud. I couldn't even explain it to you if I couldn't. It was just so loud that it woke me out of my sleep. That's how loud it was.
It woke you up.
Yes.
I saw a man, looks like your father, was it? Came up just a few minutes ago, embraced you.
Yes, he did, because he was so worried of the way that I called him. I was actually almost having an anxiety attack because I was crying and I didn't know what to do.
It's wild, ain't it? Here, let's check another one out. This is the stuff that really, really makes me start questioning more and more to what really happened then. When I started learning about Building 7,
New York
guys.
City, 2001. No tall building had ever collapsed primarily due to fire. But that's exactly what investigators believe happened to the 47-story World Trade Center Building 7 on September 11th.
Look at
According
that.
to a
I mean, it went
3-year
straight
comprehensive
down.
building and fire safety investigation just completed by the National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST.
World Trade Center 7 collapsed because of fires. We really have a new kind of progressive collapse that we have discovered here, which is a fire-induced progressive collapse. And in fact, we have shown for the first time that fire can induce a progressive collapse.
NIST used detailed data describing the building and its
Well, they always have some propaganda for us, don't they? They always have some perfect excuse as to why this new type of fire. You know, it's the Greek fire. The Greek fire must have came down. Fire. I mean, that building was a controlled explosion, and you could absolutely tell. What do you think?
I don't know. It's just wild, especially like. See, I'm sitting here thinking about it, and then he says, "Yeah, we have a new way. Like we discovered a new way that things can collapse." And it's like, what?
Yeah, I'm trying to find. There's a really good one on the right after these interviews, man. But they've done a good job in hiding them. Let's see if I can find another one of the interviews. Sorry, guys. I know we went way off topic, but hey, guys, that's what it's all about: questioning things and trying to find the truth. And we're not always right.
Went off topic, but at the same time, it also shows like how these influences are in our day-to-day lives, and it's like because we were talking earlier about how like our media and government have these. I wouldn't say demonic, but
right. Oh, absolutely.
Our best interest in mind.
I believe that. Let's see if this is one of the videos. I wish I could find
This is the north side of the North Tower, and this is where the entry where the first plane hit.
They are images already seared into the memories of Americans. But the pictures taken by retired NYPD helicopter pilot Gregory Semendegger show 9/11 from a perspective that few people have ever seen.
I happened to have a camera, and in between the surveys of the roofs and trying to see if people made it to the roof, I just kept snapping pictures.
The photos have finally been released more than 8 years after the attack. Semendegger was in the air and on the scene just minutes after the first plane hit, and was there when the second plane slammed into the South Tower.
I did see the fireball, and I saw the papers that were blown out from the windows in the offices were just unbelievable. It looked like a confetti parade.
The photos show the massive scope of the 9/11 attacks while showing the personal impact as well.
Where all the smoke is coming from here, these are people that had broken the windows on their offices and were trying to get air.
None of us, except
see, and that right there don't make sense either, because you don't. They tell you don't open doors in case of a fire. Why are you gonna open windows?
Backdraft. Now I understand. In the moment, we like to believe that we would remember these things and not do them. I do believe that there would be some people, but yes, a backdraft, massive backdraft, would cause all kinds of problems. You definitely wouldn't.
Like, you don't. I don't know.
It's definitely worth looking into, and I'm going to find some more videos on the hologram part of it. And again, guys, these are just theories, and we're just discussing them. I'm not saying I'm right on any of this. I could be wrong on it all, and then just absolutely be telling the truth. But I'm just giving you my opinion on it. But you got anything else you want to say? We're at 40 minutes now. That's okay though.
Good.
So what we'll try and do, guys, like I said, and I apologize to Hector as well, because this is my fault. I run so many different things. I am going to start structuring these things better, and we will do another one on the Nephilim, and we'll have a better one where we stick straight to just that topic. But sometimes we may do this, we may end up going off topic. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this episode. If not, let us know if you'd rather us stick to the topic we're on. I mean, we tried to keep it around it anyways. I think it still kind of went with it, but we're doing the show for you guys. So if you think it's better for us to stick to one topic at a time, or do y'all enjoy us openly discussing more and just kind of going with it? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet, press that like button and share this with your friends and family. And make sure you follow so you know when we go live. Do you have anything you want to say?
No,
I will
I'm good.
And I'll put all Hector's info in here after the video down in the comments. So come back and go give him a follow on his channels and help support him as well. Thank you, Hector, for coming on. Y'all have a wonderful day. God bless.